Hello everyone, hello, what's up? It's your girl here, Juliet, and I am back with yet another beautiful crochet tutorial. The Lily flower crochet bag. This bag is very trendy. I know you guys have seen it, and I've also seen it a lot on Pinterest, so I was so excited to make one. And lucky for you guys, I also made a tutorial, so you're welcome. Okay, so on the materials, I'm going to use these three colors. We have a pink one, a yellow one, and a red one. So you can actually use more colors or less depending on what you want. So I'm using these three colors only, and I'll be double stranding. These are 50-gram yarns. I'll be double stranding. They are a brand from Kenya, Butterfly Zuri. So the colors, you can choose any that you want. So these are some of the examples of the lily flowers that you can use. Okay, so we're going to start on the body of the bag. Let's begin. I'm actually using my 5mm crochet hook, so I am going to start with a simple slip knot, and then I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first chain that we made. Make a slip stitch. Okay, so with that we have formed a hole that we're going to work on. So you're going to chain 2, and then into the space that we have formed, you are going to do 10 double crochets. So I am going to do 10 double crochets into the same space. So I am using 10 double crochets because I want only 5 petals. So if you want 6 petals like that of the lily flower, you will have to do 12 of them. So you make the changes from this point. Okay, so that's how adjustable this bag can be. So I am about to finish the 10 double crochets, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. Make sure that you count your stitches to ensure that they are 10 or 12 or 14 or the amount that you want. So those are 10, and then I'm going to go on top of the first double crochet that I made, and I'm going to make a slip stitch. So that's a slip stitch there. So those are 10 double crochets. Remember, the chain 2 that we did does not count as a double crochet. So you're going to chain 2, and then in each and every stitch you're going to make 2 double crochets. So when you're done, you are supposed to have 20 double crochets because we have 10 stitches. So you're going to go ahead and make the 2 double crochets in each and every stitch. So basically we are making an increase. So go ahead and make the other double crochets, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so we have only 2 stitches left. So I'm going to make an increase in each of them. So that's 2 double crochets, and then the last 2 double crochets. We are done. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet, and also remember to count your stitches so that you are sure of what you have. So on top of the very first double crochet, we're going to make a slip stitch. So that is our second round. So moving to the third round, you're going to chain 2, and then now we're going to do something different. You're going to go into the first stitch and make 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to make an increase. So you're going to make 2 double crochets in the second stitch. that is 2 double crochets. The next stitch we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch you're going to do 2 double crochets. So that is going to be the basic pattern, 2 double crochets. So we're going to continue throughout the round, doing the same pattern, 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch you do 2 double crochets. So you're supposed to have 30 stitches at the end of this round. Ensure that you count your stitches so that you don't forget. Okay, so I'm almost done with the round, so I'm going to show you how I am going to finish the round. So that's 1 double crochet, and then the last stitch we're going to make an increase, that is 2 double crochets. So after doing that, you're going to make a slip stitch on top of the very first double crochet that we did, and just like that you are done with the third round. You should have 30 stitches. Moving to the fourth round, you're going to chain 2, and then into the very first stitch on top of the first double crochet you're going to make 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to also make 1 double crochet, and then in the third stitch you're going to make an increase, so that is 2 double crochets. So the next you're going to make 1 double crochet and another 1 double crochet, and then an increase, so that is 2 double crochets. So that is going to be the basic pattern of the fourth round. So you make 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and an increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then an increase. So go ahead and continue, and then I'll meet you at the end. So I'm only left with 3 stitches, and the last one was an increase, so I'm going to make 1 double crochet and then another double crochet, and then the very last stitch I'm going to make an increase, so that is 2 double crochets, and then we're going to make a slip stitch to finish off the round, and that is the end of the fourth round. So at this point I'm going to change the color, so I'm going to chain 1, tighten off, and then cut off my yarn and introduce the new color, which is going to be soft pink. This is going to be my dominant color. So let's pull up the pink yarn, and then we are going to chain 2, and then in the same stitch you're going to make 1 double crochet, and remember to weave in your ends as you go. So that's 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to make another double crochet, and then the next stitch another double crochet. At this point you realize that in the third round we did 1 double crochet and then an increase, and then in the fourth round we did 2 double crochets and made the increase. Now in the fifth round we are going to do 3 double crochets and then make an increase, and that is how the pattern is going to go onwards until you reach the size of the bag that you want. So mine, I'm only going to do 7 rounds, so you can do more depending on the size of the bag that you are going for. So in this round we are going to make 3 double crochets and make an increase, and then 3 double crochets and make an increase. In the next round we're going to do 4 double crochets, 4 double crochets and then make an increase, 4 double crochets and make an increase, and then in the next round we're going to do 5 double crochets and make an increase. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll let you see how it turns out. So that's done. So now let's get to the petals part of the body of the bag. So now you need to have equal number of petals. So mine is going to be 5 because I did 10 double crochets at the beginning. So that means that I am going to, because we have 70 stitches, I'm going to divide them by 5 to get 14. So each petal is going to start from 14 stitches. Okay, so I am going to do 14 half double crochets, and remember I have chained 1 before starting the 14 double crochets, half double crochets, sorry. So right now I'm just making the half double crochets, and you have to ensure that you have counted them so that you don't miss a stitch. So I am going to have to count them to ensure that they are 14 stitches, and then if you are a beginner, you'll need to mark each and every point that you are supposed to make the petals from. You count 14 and mark the stitch, okay, so that you are sure of what you are going to do. So next you're going to chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work, and the first stitch we are going to skip. In each and every row we will skip the first stitch, and then make the rest of the stitches we're going to make half double crochets. So that means you're going to have 13 stitches because we have only decreased by 1. So we will be skipping the first stitch. Do not forget the last stitch. So you will have to count your stitches so that you don't forget the last stitch. Okay, so we're going to decrease onwards skipping the first stitch until we reach the 11th row. So you're going to chain 1, skip the first stitch, and then start making half double crochets in each and every stitch. So we will have 12 half double crochets, so they're decreasing one by one until you reach the 11th row. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the pattern, and then I will let you see what I've got. Okay, so we are done with the first petal. Let's move to the next one. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to bring up your yarn, chain 1, and then start making half double crochets in the very first stitch. So that is our first half double crochet, and we're going to do 14 of them. So go ahead and make 14 half double crochets. We are done with the second petal, and now we're going to move to the other petals. We need to have 5 petals. So this is what we will have after making all the 5 petals. So after doing that, remember each of them have to be 11 rows. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give it like a finishing look by just making single crochets all around. So I'm going to go ahead and do the single crochets all around the petals and show you. Okay, so we are almost done with the single crochets. I've gone all around, and then I am going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet that I made. So there I'm going to make a slip stitch, that's a slip stitch, and then I'm going to go ahead and make another row of single crochets again, but this time it is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to reach on the just on the other side of the petal, the one that I'm touching. So I'm not going to go ahead onto this other end. That is where it is going to stop the single crochet. So let me go ahead and continue, and then when I reach that point I'm going to show you. So I've gone ahead, and this is the last part. I've gone all around the petals. Now they are 2 single crochet rows, except for this part that I'm going to leave. That part is also going to be the part which will be the opening of the bag. So that is exactly why I am leaving it. So that is our last single crochet, and that is how it looks. So now we're going to go ahead and make another body of the bag like that, which we will join together to form the bag. You are then going to sew them on the wrong side of the bags so that the right side will be fine. The seam line will not be seen. So guys, I went ahead and attached them together, as you can see, so that I can sew them together without making mistakes. So after doing that, I also realized that these 2 petals here, I did not reach the right row, the 11th row that I'm supposed to reach. So I'm going to just make a little bit adjustment by, I'm not going to frog the whole project, I'm just going to adjust by adding some rows, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and continue the sewing. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and make a few rows until they are equal. So after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and sew them together, leaving the part of the bag that should be open, leaving it open. That is the part that we only did 1 single crochet, remember? But the other sides all have 2 single crochets, 2 rows of single crochets, as you can remember. So I'm going to go ahead and sew using slip stitches all the way across, round or all the petals until I reach the other side, leaving the part that should be open, leaving it open. We are done. So this is what we have after doing all that. This is what we have. Remember the part that should be open, that is where it is. Okay, so you can see how I have sewn. So attaching these parts really helped with the sewing so that you don't miss the stitches. Some of them I had to adjust just to ensure that they are equal. Okay, so you gotta do what you gotta do. But when they're equal, you will not have to adjust anything. When they're equal, it will all be fine. Okay, so one thing that you have to do is to ensure that they are equal, each side of the body of the bag. Okay, so that is where I messed. So now remember this part that we did only 1 single crochets, so we're going to go ahead and do another row of single crochets on top of it, so that now they are equal. They are equally two rows of single crochets. So I'm going to do that all around in this open area. Remember, the bag is on the wrong side, so that is why I am working from the inside, so that when I turn the bag, it will be on the right side. So that is how it looks on the inside. That is the right side of the bag. So I will go ahead and turn the bag on the right side. So now when you bring in the petals, this is how it is going to look, okay? So I also went ahead and sewed in an inner liner of the bag, and I cut it in the shape of the bag. Alright, so let's now make the petals. So when you want to adjust the petals, this is the point that you will adjust. So right now I'm going to chain 20. You can chain more or less, depending again on the size of the bag that you want. So I'm going to chain 20 plus 1. So that is 20 chains plus 1 plus 1 more chain, that will be 21. So first of all, we're going to make 3 slip stitches in each and every in each of the 3 stitches. So 3 slip stitches on the first 3 stitches, okay? So those are 3, and then next we're going to do 14 half double crochets. We're going to do 14 half double crochets, and then lastly we're going to do 3 slip stitches on the last 3 stitches that will be left. Okay, so this is our last half double crochet, and the next one we're going to do slip stitches. The last 3 stitches we're going to do slip stitches on them. Ensure that you count your stitches so that you don't miss a stitch. So we're going to do slip stitches. Those are 3 slip stitches. So after doing all that, you're going to chain 1 and then move on the other side, and again start making 3 slip stitches on the very first 3 stitches. You're going to do slip stitches. I don't know if you are getting, I hope you are seeing what I am doing. If you're not getting what I'm saying, so after doing 3 slip stitches, again you're going to make 14 half double crochets, just like we have done on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and make 14 half double crochets, and then lastly we're going to make 3 slip stitches on the last 3 stitches. So lastly, we're going to make the 3 slip stitches. That is the second one and then the third one. And then you're going to slip stitch into the very first slip stitch that you made. And that is our first round. Is it a round or a row? I think it's a round. So next we're going to chain 1, and then again you're going to start with 3 slip stitches in the very first 3 stitches. So that is 3 slip stitches, and then we're going to do 6 half double crochets. We're going to count 6 half double crochets, and then in the next one you're going to do, which will be the seventh stitch, you're going to do an increase. So that is one half double crochet, second, third half double crochet, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. So in the seventh one we're going to make an increase, that is making 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. In the same stitch you're going to make an increase, and then you're going to continue making half double crochets, 1 half double crochet in each and every left stitch of the half double crochets. And then lastly we're going to make 3 slip stitches. So I was just trying to make a slip stitch, and then I'm going to move to the other side and make the 3 slip stitches that we're supposed to make. They're actually going to add up to 4 because of the one that I have just made. So after making the 3 slip stitches we're going to make 6 more half double crochets. So that's our last stitch, and next we're going to make 6 half double crochets, and then the next one, which is going to be the 7th stitch, we're going to make an increase, and then lastly we're going to do 7 half double crochets and then 3 slip stitches. Okay guys, we are done with the inner part of the petal, which will be the yellow part. So we're moving to the red part of the petal. So as you can see, that is the yellow part. So let me show you how we get to the red part. So you're going to pick any of these two sides and pull up the loop and start working on the 3 slip stitches that we were doing on the very first 3 stitches. So I'm going to pull up my loop, and remember I will be weaving in the ends as I go. So that is chain, I have chained 1, and then in the same stitch I'm going to place a slip stitch and then 2 more slip stitches. So that is the second slip stitch and then the third slip stitch, and then from there onwards we're going to make the half double crochets. So the last round we made only 1 increase, so this time we're going to do 2 increases on different areas. So we are going to go ahead and make 4 half double crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 half double crochets, and then we are going to go ahead and make an increase in the 5th stitch. So that is 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so those are 4 and then an increase. Next we're going to do 5 half double crochets again in the middle, so we're going to do 5 half double crochets in the middle and then make an increase. 1 2 3 4 5 and make an increase, and then lastly we're going to do 4 half double crochets, and then we're going to continue with our 3 slip stitches at the end. So those are 4 half double crochets and then the very last 3 slip stitches. I'm not sure if they are now 3, maybe 4 or 5. Because we have gone ahead and made other rounds, but just ensure that this side is slip stitches. So at the corner there, I have made a single crochet, but on this other end I'm going to come back with slip stitches on this other side. So that is the first slip stitch, the first slip stitch, the second, and the third. So we're going to do the same thing that we have been doing. That is, we're going to make 4 half double crochets, 4 half double crochets, and then make an increase, and then 5 half double crochets, and then make an increase, and then the very last 4 half double crochets again, and then we're going to end with the 3 slip stitches or more. Just know that at the end we're doing slip stitches, so where they are, we're going to do slip stitches. So again we are moving to the next row, the next round. So we're going to make slip stitches at the beginning. So guys, before we start, I'm going to show you something. So we have 2 increases in this round. So in the middle of these 2 increases, we're going to make an increase in the next round that we're going to make, okay? So those are about 3. You're going to count 3 from the increase part and then mark them, so that when you come, you're just going to make half double crochets, and then in that middle area you're going to make an increase, okay? So that is what I'm going to go ahead and do. So we're going to start with the slip stitches. So that is 1, 2 and 3, 4, and from there we're going to start making half double crochets until we reach the middle part that we have marked. So we're going to go ahead and do half double crochets until that marked area, the marked stitch, and then in there we're going to make an increase. So what we're trying to do, we're just trying to make the petal to be a little bit not thick in the, we don't want it to be very thick, so that is why we are minimizing the number of increases. So after the increase, we're just going to go ahead and make the half double crochets. Remember, after the last half double crochet, you're going to make slip stitches. So that is how it turns out. So again, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you make 3 slip stitches or more, and then you start making half double crochets, and then in the middle part you're going to do an increase. So that will be 2 half double crochets in the middle part that will be marked. And then then the rest we're going to do half double crochets, and then in the last part we're going to do the slip stitches as usual. So on this next round we're going to mark 2 parts that we are going to make an increase on. So we're going to make 2 increases. So we're going to count 4. So 1 2 3 4, and then make an increase, and then the middle part is going to be around 8 stitches, and then we're going to make an increase, and then on this side we're going to have 4 stitches, 4 half double crochet. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to start with the slip stitches. Mostly we're going to start with 3 slip stitches, or maybe it has reached 4. So that is 4 slip stitches, and then we're going to start with the half double crochets. So 1 2 3 and 4. So in the next stitch we're going to make 2 half double crochets to make the increase, and then next we're going to do 8 half double crochets and then make an increase, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side because we have already marked the points that we are supposed to make the increase. So we are done with the half double crochets, and now we're going to make the slip stitches. The slip stitches on this side have increased. So at the corner there I've also made a slip stitch, and then at the very last corner I have made a single crochet, and then I've gone ahead and made slip stitches again, and then we're going to start on the half double crochet and then increase on the next corner. So the video is taking way too long, so I will have to cut it into two parts. So I will only finish the petal and then the rest of the attaching the petals to the bag and also the cord of the bag. You're going to have to see it on the next video. Okay, so let's finish the petal and then see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe, you like and comment on how you find this bag, and also check my other videos. I have very nice tutorials or inspirations that you can like, so go ahead and check them out. Okay, so we are done with the red part of the petal. This is how it looks. It is somehow like a leaf. So that is what we were trying to actually achieve, and we have achieved that. So the last part is more of just to create the ruffles with a different color, which is our dominant color, the baby pink. So I am going to pull up the loop on the red part at the corner here, chain 1 and do the slip stitches. And I'm also trying to weave in the ends. So on the half double crochet stitches we're going to do increases, so because we want to make ruffles, so we're going to do four double crochets in each and every stitch of the half double crochets. So that is four double crochets. Remember, these are now double crochets. So those are 4 double crochets in each and every stitch of the half double crochet stitches. We are trying to make ruffles. So let me go ahead and do that and meet you on the other side. And now we are almost done with the half double crochet stitches. So on this part, I'm only on the slip stitches that we made. We are now going to just make, I'm left with one more half double crochet stitch, and then on the slip stitches part we are going to make only one double crochet in each and every stitch. So on that end there is no increases, so it is not going to be ruffled. Okay. So when you get on the half double crochet stitches part, you're going to do 4 half double crochets, just like we were doing on the other side. So we're going to make increases again to make the ruffles on this other side. But when you reach the slip stitches, you are going to go ahead and make the slip stitches. And just like that, we are done with the petal, and you're going to make 5 more or 6 more depending on the amount that you wanted. So let me see you on the next video. Bye.